Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have for you another juicy 4v4 on patch 9.98 and it is on another Lemon map called Once Upon a Time. It is a Lemon remake of an older map, but obviously these maps are made for the big team games. They're very large. There's plenty of metal. I call these maps like pseudo-metal maps because you have these metal squares in different locations that give you tons of basically free resources because you start with them. And so yeah, it's kind of a hybrid metal map almost because there's so many resources to be found. But Lemonkainen's addition to this map is actually adding these 4 pawns. The pawns, at least the 2 pawns in the center, have some metal, so that will perhaps give the game a little more of an interesting flair. I couldn't really say. It just seems like probably these pawns will be mostly ignored. Except for trying to get the metal in them. I don't really expect there to be like a huge naval battle happening in these tiny pawns, or even hovercrafts being used that heavily on this kind of map. So I'm not sure. I do like that Lemonkainen's trying to mix it up a little bit. Pure land maps are a little bit boring to me, but nonetheless, this is a 4v4. This is going to be a really good one, I'm sure, and I want to make sure that everybody is engaged. Make sure that you have prepared yourself for this epic match and that you have, ripped out your popcorn and your pizza and your energy drinks and your coffee and tea and wine coolers and whatever it is you got to do because you're going to have to strap yourselves in for this game. Let's go ahead and introduce the players before the action starts. Here on the North team we have Art in orange. He's right here. In green we have Mr. Brotan, the mod creator, the legend here. And speaking of legends, we have Lemonkainen in yellow, the map maker, and also someone to watch out for. And finally, the last player for the Northern team, Mr. Raged Gamer. And he can also be quite an entertaining player. FN for the bottom team in the teal trunks. Here in brown, we do have Goalie. Not sure where his commander is. All right, here he's boxed in. Here in red, we have Lavoom, the what do you say? Government issued combat twink or something like that. That's what he calls himself in our Discord. Guys, go ahead and join the Discord if you want. I'll put it in the description. You can come be part of the community and meet Mr. Lavoom here, who I'm sure will give us a spectacular showing. And then finally, Mr. FRBR in blue. So guys, those are the teams. Those are the stakes. And with those introductions out of the way, we can probably just hop into the game and get a bit of a handle on what's happening so far. So, in the last episode of Dragon Ball Z that you watched, we had a 4v4, a massive all-out brawl with a player leaving early because Lemonkainen was quite unmerciful towards him. And we'll have to see if this game plays out the same way. Right now, we just have groups of Flashes and Peewees kind of duking it out. Instigators as well. So far, neither team doing anything too spectacular. No early bombing play that you will often see on these kinds of 4v4 games. Usually at least one player will go air, but no, this game, it does look like Lemonkainen has gone air, but he's just using it for Deconstructors. Rage Gamer also going air. But as of yet, no player and no team has built any bombers. And it's only just been clashes of T1 units happening sporadically throughout the map. These engagements very normal at the start of the game. Lots of T1 units clashing on both sides. And don't get me wrong, the game can end at this phase. It's certainly possible. If one team does outproduce the second team and works better as a cohesive unit, many of these games can end very early because T1 is still extremely strong in Escalation, despite what you might hear in the comments about T1 being useless. It's not actually the case. T1 is very effective in this mod. Obviously much better early on, and it's much better if you can try to get a massive advantage over your opponent with it. Otherwise, you would probably just want to rush to T2. T1 is most effective if you can use it to punish your opponent, kind of cripple their economy. I like what Light Blue is doing here. FN has gotten a few flashes into Lemminkainen's base, and Lemminkainen doing what he can to stop this, but Orange has done a good job as well. Mr. Art, as you can see, he's kind of he destroyed the defenses here. He's killed a lot of mexes and resources, and Blue doing what he can. So right now, both teams pretty even. Both teams have made some headway at this T1 combat phase. Skirmishes breaking out all over the map, and it's actually difficult to watch them all. I like what Lemminkainen is doing here. Like I said, I don't expect water to play a huge role, but Lemminkainen is at the very least taking over the naval portion of the map and building some underwater metal extractors. So kudos to him. He made the map. I'm sure he knows better than anyone how to utilize the map. Wotan asking Orange to pull back and defend himself. Sort of like a boxing match referee. You must defend yourself at all times. Wotan concerned that perhaps Orange being a little too aggressive, pushing forward a little too much, and leaving his allies open. So anyways, yeah, right now Blue is pushing forward with a nice combination of hammers and Roccos, and those will have the greater range than the Instigators, so they will clean that up. And now Orange potentially in trouble. He did get to T2, and he's going to have to start pumping out some pyros or something, because that is a fearsome force that Blue has, and we'll have to see what FR can do with it. Purple attempting to push down this side, but Light Blue was ready with a few light laser towers and plenty of flashes to back it up. So that's probably not going to go anywhere. So guys, at this stage of the game, at the around the 15-minute mark or so, things will begin to slow down as both teams, the T1 phase is coming to an end. The T2 phase is now starting, and both teams will attempt to defend their respective sides. We'll see lots of defenses being thrown up to create fortifications and walls of impenetrable emplacements that could protect the team from any kind of attack. Already Brown doing a decent job here. Gully with a nice combination of light laser towers and pulverizers. He's even got some HLTs being thrown up. So I will say, I guess the water does open some avenues for attack. Even if you don't use hovercrafts at all, you could still use amphibious units like Crocs and Tridents, or Gimps, Pelicans, things like that that would be able to potentially go around the defenses. So we'll have to see if that comes into play this game. Again, I'm a little skeptical that the water will make much of a difference at all on this style of map, but it might. FN building brawlers, going gunships pretty early. This is a quick gunship rush, sub 15 minutes, already pumping out brawlers. So we'll have to see if light blue can catch some of his opponents by surprise. Orange has not gone for pyros, but has instead gone for freakers. And the freakers are, of course, powerful core raiding units. But how much can they really get done? There is a Maverick, and the Mavericks should be pretty effective against the freakers. And now blue making zippers, which is the arm equivalent. So one freaker still alive and certainly very annoying, but can it be anything else than just annoying? We'll have to see. This Maverick already with 8 kills. It's a respectable amount. And as you can see, both teams trying to get some metal in the water here, trying to get a little bit of eco up. I do like what Lemonkinen's doing. He's building a Lotus here, the floating Guardian, the floating plasma cannon. So that could come into play as the game progresses. We'll have to see. FN now pinging his team, telling everyone to push through the left hard. And so FN has a plan. He's been building brawlers, as I mentioned before. He's now sending them up. He's going to send them to the left side. He did order his team to do a push up the west. And right now, FR is the only player really responding. Of course, he is the Western player. But we're going to have to slow it down because we do want to see this brawler attack. It could be potentially game-ending for Art. He doesn't have any air defense at all. I mean, I don't even see a defender, much less a defender going up now. Maybe the northern team is just now catching wind of this, but I have to say, to call it too little too late would be the understatement of a century, because it is beyond too late to build air defense now. It is centuries too late. Oh my goodness, yeah, Art has already been taken out, so FN not even content to just kill one commander. He wants 2 commanders in this attack. He's going for the jugular, going for the death blow here. But Wotan with some nice nano blocking does prevent himself from falling victim to this extremely well-timed and well-planned attack of FN. I mean, FN, I thought he would be satisfied with just one commander, but no. FN was not satisfied with one commander. He certainly wanted multiple commanders. He wanted to seal the deal right there. And if Wotan had died, and he certainly got low enough, then it probably would have sealed the deal. The game would already be over. 2v4, it's a much more difficult situation than a 3v4. 3v4 is very possible. Again, in the last game I casted, it was a 3v4, and the team with 3 won, because mostly because of Stag's fantastic and spectacular play. So FN not quite getting the damage done that he wants, but certainly by taking out Art, he has put his team ahead. There's no question about it. Wotan's going to have to scramble to recover all of this and take back all the metal, take back the resources, and then he will also have to defend twice as much surface area. He's going to have to defend all of this too. So, yeah, really, really great strategy by FN, and I have to say, Wotan flaming his teammates as usual. That's a Wotan special. Poor Art. But I don't know. I don't want to blame Art as much as I want to praise FN here, because that was a lightning fast brawler attack. I mean, you really couldn't do it much more quickly than what you did while also defending yourself. And speaking of that, it doesn't look like he has defended himself that well, because his base is now wide open. I think he did have some defenses up here at some point, but clearly they were too paltry and weak to be of much use against a dedicated land push, and purple taking full advantage of that. We've got Reapers and we've got Instigators streaming down the eastern side of the map, and aside from Brawlers, FN has no answer at all. He is really caught with his pants down here. He is definitely the Emperor who has no clothes. Brawlers might act as some kind of glorified towel or bed sheet, but they will not do the job, I think. He's got to plug this hole quickly before he takes too much damage. And speaking of that, the northern team also pushing on the western side. Lemminkainen with a decently timed can aggression, and that might also come into play here, as blue has some Fidos, and of course red is here to help, but we'll have to see what Lemminkainen wants to do. Right now, this force with only 4 cans and some freakers, it's not too terrifying. These Fidos might be able to deal with it, but it could become terrifying, especially if Lemminkainen continues to put pressure with these freakers. But yeah, Brown with some cans of his own, and that should halt that aggression pretty well. Look at all these construction aircraft. Holy cow, FN. He is really starting a... He's created an eco war. This man is not content to just build. He wants to create an empire. He truly needs Factorio levels of production power. This Lotus, I have to say, 17 kills. I won't say it wasn't useless, but it was fairly useless. It didn't do that much. It probably didn't pay for itself. Lemminkainen attempting to defend his map, but unfortunately your map is indefensible, sir. It's a shit map, and you are a terrible map maker. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure how much the pawns add here. I didn't think they would really play that much of a part. And so far, they haven't really played much of a part. I mean, yes, both teams have built some underwater metal extractors, and that's interesting. But other than that, it's been pretty unremarkable. Not super impactful to have these pawns here, and I don't think it really will be. Now, if the okay, let me say this: if the pawns reached all the way to the side, so if the pawns actually reached the edge of the map, and there was only this middle strip where units could move through, it would probably be more impactful, because then you'd be forced to either go through the mid, which becomes a gauntlet, or use the water for hovercrafts or amphibious units. I think that would be a better design. Just move the water to the edge of the map here on both sides, and then it's more likely to have an impact on the game instead of people just going around it, which is what they're probably just going to do. That's my idea, but I'm not a map maker, so no one gives a shit what I say, but that's my opinion. It would be better if it reached to the actual edge of the map. It'd be more impactful. These ones, these north and south pawns, you can just get rid of. I don't think they're doing anything. I mean, could be a stylistic choice, but ultimately those are even less impactful. But overall, I like the idea. I like the creativity of what Lemminkainen is trying to do. So I'll give him props for making experimental choices and not just having a pure land map, which again are probably my least favorite to cast. I love casting water maps. I think TA naval battles are what sets it apart from every other RTS. There just simply is not another RTS on the market that does naval battles better than the TA series. And of course, you're going to say, You know, Beyond All Reason, Forged Alliance, that's the TA series, my friends. All those games, all the games that have good naval combat are spawned from this game that you're watching right now, created back in 1997. Like, any game that has decent naval combat, any RTS that has decent naval combat comes from this game. So that, I think that is what really sets this RTS apart. There's other RTSs that have good land combat, obviously, and air combat. But no other RTSs that I'm even aware of that have anywhere near the spectacular kind of naval combat that you will see in this series of games, the TA spin-offs or the original. So I do love naval combat. I think it's such a spectacular and unique feature. And speaking of unique features, we have the unique feature of brawlers being uncontested here. The northern team knowing full well that FN has this, not bringing any air defense except for these Vamps. But FN's ready for that. He's got his own Hawks. So, man, I mean, 1 or 2 flaks could have cleared this up completely. But, well, despite that, the Freakers do get through. They are very fast and annoying. So, maybe Yellow can still get some damage done, despite the fact that their air defense was certainly lacking in this scenario. The Freakers really don't do that much damage. They're a better raiding unit. Even against the Geo, they'll struggle. They'll struggle against Moho extractors. You have to have a good number of them. But they're annoying. I mean, they could get the Geo. I mean, look, see how long it takes them to kill just this Moho. The Brawlers are going to be able to clean them up faster than that. But these Reapers will be much more of a threat, and of course the Instigators do quite a bit more damage as well, and they do end up taking out the Moho, surprisingly. So there has been some crippling damage done to our light blue player. He's begging for help from his allies, and admittedly his allies haven't been super helpful in defending him here. Brown has a lot of cans, but he didn't really send his cans over to help that much. I mean, most of his cans just kind of moved north, or they're over here now, but they just, he pathed them that way, and by the time they got there, most of the units were already in FN's base. So yeah, cans are slow, so it is difficult to defend with them. You have to kind of you have to plan a little ahead and kind of catch your opponent off guard. But hold that thought, because here in the west there's another large combat. And I like what Blue's doing here. He's got an Orion with some fortification walls, some Fidos as well for long-range support, and AoE. So green is trying to push into this, Wotan, and he does have some shooters. But even with the shooters, I don't think it's going to be enough. Blue with a very nice defense, also adding some bulwarks for good measure, and that will, I think that will stop that attack right in its tracks. Gully making sure that nothing ever breaks through here. But guys, this is something that players do that it bothers me. I've mentioned this in previous casts. I appreciate that Gully wants to make this this approach impenetrable, and thank you so much for that. But Gully would be helping his team so much more if he were to take just a fraction of the resources that he is beefing up this area with, and just build something here to protect his teammate. I know that this isn't his base. I get that he maybe doesn't feel responsible. But I can almost guarantee you that all of these defenses he's building here will just never become, they'll never be used. Because the enemy team's just going to take one look at this, and they're going to treat it like the Germans treated the Maginot Line in World War II, and just be like, nope. And they're just going to go around it. Like, why would anyone need to look? There's so many ways. They can come here, they can go here. They can come down this way. Of course, blue is starting to defend that. They can come this way, or they could even go across the water if they really needed to. Like, there's just no reason to ever go into all this defense. Like, I appreciate what Brown's doing, but he's making a massive investment that just, it seems useless. That's the thing about defenses, guys. They cannot move. Like, defenses are an investment. It's not just something that you should just build because, you know, you want to make yourself feel safer. I mean, you have to build defenses in places that they're actually going to get used. Otherwise, they're useless. Like, they can't move. They must be put into locations where they will have an impact on the game. Otherwise, just build an army. You know, you'd rather invest your resources into a mobile army that can go anywhere on the map rather than this. And I do suppose the toaster is hitting some of these cans. But yeah, the problem is Brown has invested most of his resources into those defenses by far. He's slowly making it to T3. And I don't know, what happened to all those cans? Oh, he's moving his cans back, so... Again, I don't like that either. He needs to leave his cans here and defend light blue's base while he rebuilds. But as you can see, Lemminkainen just kind of ignoring all these defenses anyway. And light blue with some phoenixes. Red with some nice Lugers. But right now the game's still very close. The southern team... Yeah. Lemminkainen kind of commenting on all this defense. I'm sure they're aware of it now, but the southern team not really pushing their advantage here and trying to kill Wotan while they had the opportunity. You know, I feel like they could have easily... There's no defenses here at all. It's just a barren wasteland. Of course, there's no defenses here either. It's just Wotan's units, but I feel like the southern team had an opportunity to really push through and try to end the game after Art died, the red player. Not the red player, the orange player. But they just weren't coordinated enough. Of course, goalie has just been on pure defense almost, except for some cans. And Lavoom, he's also on defense with these Lugers. Blue's been playing pretty defensively as well. So either way, I do like that light blue killed Art, but the southern team was not able to really take advantage of that. And now all it's really effectively done is give Wotan double resources. So Wotan has taken all these metal spots over now. This is his territory. So Wotan is going to have one of the best ecos in the game. I don't know why it says he only has 46 metal. That can't be right. He's got tons of mohos. But either way, it's not always good to just kill a player if you don't have a plan for killing the rest of the team. And the reason why is because if you take out a player, then the enemy team just expands and consumes all their resources, then they can actually get stronger in the end, because then one player basically gets double or triple resources. And that's what's happening to Wotan right now. He can't even use his resources because he's got so much. So Wotan is probably just going to explode here within the next 10 or 15 minutes. He's going to have a unstoppable army. If I had to guess, he'll probably move to T3 and then start pumping out some experimentals. We'll see. I guess we'll see what Wotan wants to do. Right now he's just building some defenses. But a reasonable amount of defenses, not this. This is ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, like this kind of defensive line can be useful in the right situation, in the right place. But just but right there, not convinced that will ever get used. But you know, I could be wrong. The enemy, the northern team could just decide But instead of taking any of these paths that are barely defended, they just want to slam their heads against a brick wall and try to get through the most heavily defended part of the map. It just doesn't seem very likely, and I don't know why they would do that. So FN making the claim that asking goalie to push. Once again, needing his teammates to cooperate with him so that he can use his aerial superiority to make a difference. He's got plenty of bombers here, but again, he needs his teammates to make a move if they can break through. There's almost no defense. These are just light laser towers. At the 35-minute mark, they're going to do almost nothing against cans and Lugers. So FN really does need his team to participate. Another big battle here. It looks like goalie gave his cans to light blue, and that will allow light blue to push forward, maybe get some damage done. So guys, part of the reason that FN needs his teammates to push forward, there's a couple reasons. Number one, the more of the map that they control, the easier it is for his bombers and gunships to get in. It's harder for them to be shot down. But also, as you can see, as this land army pushes forward, they also kill all the air defense on the way. So the more pulverizers and lacerators and flaks they can take out, the easier time it will be for his bombing run to get something accomplished. And finally, the reason that FN really wants his teammates to push forward is that it gives them scouting vision. You know, if you've got units in the enemy base, you'll have a good idea of what they're up to, and that gives you a better read on what to attack, what to bomb, what to target. See, you see what I'm saying? He just took out a Cobra there with that attack. So FN really wanting his teammates to cooperate, because the more they can push forward with the land units and the more territory they can take and the more air defense they can destroy, the easier his job becomes of perhaps taking out a second player and making the game a 2v4, which would be considerably better of a situation than the one they're in right now, which just is Wotan with double resources. It's still not really able to use them. He's finally going to T3. So again, I do think Wotan will eventually become a powerhouse of production, but we'll see. I do have to say, Lemminkainen, he's massing up a nice army of air as well, and Lemminkainen is on T3, but right now he's just kind of at the economic phase. Rage Gamer is going into T3 air. Let's slow it down, because finally Light Blue deciding to go in with those brawlers. But these defilers are doing decent damage against them, and Lemminkainen has some vamps on the map. I think he might have enough air defense here to make an impact on the game. Those brawlers really got nothing accomplished, and now the defilers are walking through the water. But that was just the first wave. FN is not content to end it there. He really wants to get something done with this attack. He doesn't want it to all just be for nothing, but there's so much air defense. God, it just feels like hundreds of bombers, but most of them have died even before they get to their targets. And it's hard to say what the target even was. It might have been this Ultra K-Bot gantry. He did take out an advanced K-Bot lab, but for all those bombers, I don't think it was really worth what he got accomplished. A nice attempt there by Light Blue, but Yellow was ready. And now these defilers moving under the water, so I said water probably wouldn't come into play. I don't know if this really counts as coming into play. I mean, he did move them under the water, but he could have just easily moved them on the land. There's really nothing here to stop the defilers from just moving down that that land bridge. Wouldn't have made much of a difference either way. But how much damage can Lemminkainen get done with these defilers? The defiler, of course, has a kind of AoE radiation attack at its very close range. But it hurts everything around it. And his T3 units, they're decently tanky. I mean, they're certainly they're not squishy. They take a while to kill, as you can see. I don't know how many are left. It looks like maybe 5 or so. But just Freedom Fighters and Hawks are going to have a hard time taking these out. They have enough health to survive this for a considerable amount of time. But Light Blue doing what he can. Most of his brawlers are dead already. Geothermal in trouble, but he does eventually take them all out. So again, that Defiler attack not getting too much done, and now Brown with some of his own Defilers. But I like that Lemminkainen has built the Cyclops here. Lemminkainen really attempting to use the sea on this map to his advantage. Trying to prove that his map design is actually not ridiculous. And I like what Wotan's doing here. He's got a lot of Lugers. Got some shooters as well. So Wotan, he's going to attempt to break this defensive wall, but that's the whole point of these fortifications. They will make it harder for even these Lugers to finally shell these Orions and Annihilator to death. It will eventually happen. It's going to take a little bit. But on the eastern side is where all the action is. These Cyclops are not very tanky. And Light Blue still in control of the sky, but how much control does he have? Right now, only fighters. And Lemminkainen with his own gunships, the core gunship, the Rapier, and Lavoom with almost no air defense in the mix there. So game's still very close, but Wotan has broken through on the west. And again, like I said, Wotan will eventually become a force to be reckoned with. He's got 2 bases. He needs to start using his T3 factory there. But yeah, he does have 2 bases worth of income, and now his metal is just going to explode. I know he has more than 67. I don't know. This is economic graph is broken because I bet Wotan has got the highest eco in the game right now. You know, as you can see, some other players have near 300. I bet Wotan is over 300 at this point. Over 300 metal. Working on his 4th mantle extractor, or maybe 3rd. Whatever the case, he's certainly going to have more than enough resources to just kind of do whatever he wants for the rest of the game. And once again, the southern team not really able to plug this hole as purple and yellow continue to stream down the side of the map and just ignoring all of Goalie's defenses, like I said, and going through the weak point. Light Blue doing his best, now having to go into upgraded Bulldogs as well, because he's, I think, completely lost faith that his teammates are going to defend him. I don't know what Goalie's doing. It's always kind of hard to say with this guy. He's building Widows and Sumos, but it's not clear where they're going. In fairness, he does bring a couple Widows over here to help his teammate. So they are just holding this, but I feel like a stiff breeze could break through here, and if either of them were to build some air defense with their armies, all of these fighters would go up in smoke. Wotan's push continuing down the west side. Wotan asking Lemminkainen to push. But Lavoom with a nice Bulldog counterattack. Again, the triple barrel Bulldog is a new unit this patch. The upgraded Bulldog. Very, very cool. I like to see it. The rate of fire has been increased quite significantly with this third cannon. And in order to build that, you must upgrade your advanced vehicle plant, which let me show you how to do it. So this is a new feature in Escalation. You click on your advanced vehicle plant, and then you can upgrade it. It's not cheap. It's 3,000 metal and 25,000 energy. So it's the cost of, you know what, almost 4.5 bulldogs just to upgrade it. But if you can upgrade your plant, you will get access to not only upgraded bulldogs, but you also get upgraded merles and upgraded penetrators. So it is sometimes worth the investment to do that. It's a really cool feature. I really like the upgrades for the advanced vehicle plant, the advanced K-Bot labs, and also the T3 factories. Yeah, the triple barrel bulldog, very fun to watch. And again, the Southern team has just been unable to make any kind of stand here. I'm sure they'd love to kind of construct some defenses and again, plug this gap. Prevent the Eastern team, or the Northern team, from just breaking through over and over as they have. Wotan no longer able to push forward, and now FR with a Gorgon. Yeah, that's not a good situation. So guys, the Gorgon is like a relatively slow-moving arm AoE crawler of death. It will send out these EMP shockwaves that not only do massive damage to anything in the radius, but they also paralyze. Wotan asking Yellow to send his gunships. So that is one of the only answers to these. You do need some gunships. They don't do that much damage to things in the air. So with rapiers, maybe they can stop it, but this thing is still on full health. It's already got 20 kills. So the gunships do arrive, but FR is ready. He's got plenty of Hawks, and so does Light Blue. Lemminkainen with his own Hawks, he was ready for that. But the Gorgon is very healthy, and most of the gunships have already been removed. This is a very effective Gorgon. This is definitely what the unit is designed for. Certainly the situation you want to have it in. These kinds of units, like the Gorgon and the core equivalent, there's a specific moment in the game where they are useful. Usually like around the early T3 phase, especially if the enemy team doesn't expect it and they don't have the right counters. Things like Annihilators and Doomsday Machines and the aforementioned gunships. Lots of T3 units can counter it, or like Krogoths and Raptors. But yeah, this Gorgon, really kind of the bull in the china closet. I'd like to see him, instead of killing defenses, I'd like to see him go straight up here into Wotan's base. I do like that the Southern team has brought air defense. They've got plenty of fighters. Attempting to give this thing close air support. They don't want to let it just die, as it already has 44 kills to its name. And now Lavoom backing it up with the triple barrel bulldogs. I mean, this thing has been incredibly effective. One of the most effective Gorgons I've ever casted, for sure. You don't see this unit very often. Again, there's kind of a window of opportunity where the Gorgon will be at max usefulness. But yeah, here's one of the counters right here. The Krogoth. And Lemminkainen has gotten a Krogoth out onto the field. I don't know how. That's probably what he's been doing for the past 5-10 minutes. Krogoths are not cheap. But yes, you can see the Krogoth will make short work of this. And now Wotan with a Gorgon of his own. And with this Gorgon Krogoth push from the Northern team, things may change, and they're going to have to change. As you can see, just looking at the mega map, there has been a massive trail of destruction that's been carved up this northwest corner of the map, and so it is time for the northern team to counterattack. They must get some damage done. They must inflict damage on their opponents. They cannot just be on the defensive. Best defense is a good offense in this game, and so they definitely want to push back. But with a Krogoth and a Gorgon, they could get a lot done. Now, Lavoon does have a Demolisher, and the Demolisher is kind of like an upgraded 2 Demolishers. Kind of like an upgraded Penetrator. But even with 2 Demolishers, I don't know if it's going to be enough. That Gorgon is very healthy, and the Krogoth as well. And he can't let the Demolisher get too close because the Gorgon will kill that in short order. As you can see, its health is just dropping. The Gorgon gets on top of it, shreds it with those AoE pulses of doom. Demolisher now about to die. But light blue attempting a recon push as well. But it seems like the northern team may be prepared for this. There's plenty of gunships, and there's some Hellions as well on the field. The Hellion also a new unit in 998 that I really liked so far. Can these recons get anything done? So far they've been pretty ineffectual. Targeting the antimatter reactor, but there's no way they're going to get that even close. The Krogoth now in the fray. The Gorgon there too, so someone's going to have to bring their commanders, I think, if they want to stop this push. We're going to need some D-gun action, otherwise this Gorgon and Krogoth push may just end the game. As light blue attempted to get something done with those recons, but ultimately falling short. There was no air defense, and those rapiers were more than enough to stop that. But yeah, again, I don't see Gorgons that often, but this game has been definitely a display of their power. Uh-oh. What happened to Wotan? Guys, guys, I missed what happened to Wotan. I apologize. I was watching this Krogoth push. Even Wotan doesn't know what happened to Wotan. So nobody's really clear on what happened to Wotan there. I was watching what was going on in the north, and I didn't see I didn't really see too much in that area. Unless there was like a cloaked unit. I'm not really sure how he died like that. So we may have to rewind the replay and try to figure out what happened to poor Wotan. Even the northern team seems a little confused about it. Because he looked relatively safe there. Of course, he had that Gorgon pushing down the map, but still Lemminkainen with a 56 kill Krogoth. Goalie has tapped out of the game. I'm assuming he gave up. As once Lemminkainen's Krogoth makes it into the backline here, this could spell disaster for the southern team. It's already a disaster. Goalie left, losing the Geo. Might lose the Ultra Vehicle Plant as well. There's got to be a D-Gun. D-Gun is the only thing that's going to save this Ultra Vehicle Plant. Right now being targeted. I don't know where the commanders are. Bombers coming in to try and stop this. But bombers aren't going to be enough. Red is about to lose everything. He's already lost his T3 vehicle plant, and now he's going to lose his fusion farm. That's all going to go up in a puff of smoke for sure. The Krogoth is now low. It's at 1 hit, in fact, but the damage has already been done. Red's base lies in ruins. His production has been completely destroyed. He does have a Demolisher, but it's still a very scrappy game because Wotan has been taken out. And we're just not really sure how exactly he was taken out. Again, I might have to rewind. Maybe this Nova Could he have been targeted with a... No, this Nova has no kills. Alright, well, let's not speculate. Let's go back and see what happened to poor Wotan to make this game a 2v3 scenario. What a crazy game, though. Like, what an absolute banger. What an absolute slugfest that poor Wotan was taken out. But still, even in a 2v3 situation, the Northern team looking very, very strong. So, alright. Okay, so we are back around the part that Wotan died, and what I realized is that Mr. FR did a very sneaky T2 Maverick drop that even it was so quick that even I did not see it. So Wotan's commander is cloaked in this area, but FR with this extremely well-timed Maverick drop has found an opportunity to potentially kill Wotan's base, and Wotan was clearly not ready for this. He reveals his commander and dies almost instantly. So guys, as a caster, it was hard to even see that. It happened so quickly. The last I checked, there was nothing up here, but FR with that nice Maverick push will yeah, he'll take out Wotan. That was a nice play by Blue. So some extremely nice plays by both teams, I have to say. Again, I think goalie just left the game here, just kind of gave up. So it's now a 2v3 situation, but the game is still either side's game to win or lose, because even though it is a 2v3 and then the Northern team has lost their entire western side of the map, they still have their best player, Lemminkainen, and Lemminkainen is an economic powerhouse, now working on another Krogoth, working on a second Ultra K-Bot gantry, and oh my god, 3 antimatter reactors. Holy cow, Rage Gamer is already on an Ultra K-Bot lab, so now finally working on T3 K-Bots. So the game is far from over. We do know that this Krogoth takes out the Ultra Vehicle plant before finally being sent to the abyss. The bombers come in. And yeah, that Krogoth getting so much accomplished before it is finally taken down. So far, this thing has been the MVP, 91 kills, and taking out most of the fusions as well before it will finally succumb. 100 kills on it. What a hero, what a legend. But again, guys, this game is still razor close. I mean, it is still a 2v3, but Lemminkainen has air control. Hold that thought though. FN with his own incoming aerial attack. I'm gonna have to slow down the game. Both teams attempting an aerial raid simultaneously, looking for some juicy target. Oh my god, Lemminkainen has found Lavoom. He has found Red's commander. And Red will give everything he has before he dies. Nicely done by Lavoom. But hold that thought, because now FN attempting his own raid, but it just won't get much done. There was too much air defense. Lemminkainen was ready. These two oh my god, words. These two reactors get low, but they don't die. They're still there. So even though Lavoom is taken out, he gave all of his stuff prior to dying. And oh my god, but Lemminkainen has found the heavy fusion reactor. Oh, and FN's repairing it with 1,000,000 constructors. There's probably 100 construction seaplanes. So that is why this heavy fusion will not die. There's so much construction power being pumped into it right now. But even all of these rapiers have no chance. That thing's at full health. It may look like it's at 1 hit, but they've repaired it all the way to full. Those rapiers are going to die. So nice job by FN keeping that alive, because I guarantee you if that thing exploded, it would have been like a it would have been a chain reaction to his entire base. Everything would have gone, and probably that would have been the end of the game for the Southern team. But it is now a proper 2v2, and it's FN and FR versus Lemminkainen and Rage Gamer. I have to say, Rage Gamer has been playing a bit like an AI this game. He's just been sending a constant stream of units down into Light Blue's base. That's more or less all he's done this game. I'm not trying to be mean. That's literally been his plan. I would have liked in some cases if he would kind of build up. Guys, it's usually better instead of sending your units piecemeal like this in an assembly line. If you can stack up your army, kind of reach a critical mass, and then send everything in, you can typically get a lot more accomplished than doing what Rage Gamer's been doing, where he just keeps sending the units as they roll off the factory line. But yeah, Lemminkainen still, I think, is in an economically superior situation, or the northern team is. Oh my god, maybe I take that back. It says FN has 561 metal per second, so I guess he does have 2 players' bases. Maybe FN has the best eco, but FN is not using his metal. He can't. He does not have the production power right now. So I've mentioned in previous casts, guys, or like casts I've done with others, one of the skills of a good player is always being able to use your resources, and to do so you need a ton of production power. So FN truly needs to find a way to spend his metal. I know he inherited all of Lavoom's base, but he could build a another T3 plant, or he could start pumping out Berthas or buzzsaws, or he could go to T4. There's a lot of options to use his resources. But right now he's attempting another bombing run. There's been so many area attacks this game by both sides. You love to see it. You love to see both teams relying heavily on air. It's one of the most dynamic parts about this mod, is how effective air can be when used correctly. But now FN pushing forward with a nice T3 army here. And FN also pushing up the east side as well, with some Centurions and Bulldogs both upgraded to have the triple barrels. Guys, as predicted, all of Gully's defenses did nothing. That was just a huge waste of resources, and they ultimately just exploded when he left. There's an autocrat on the field. Yeah, what a crazy game. Now, FN attempting to push through the middle. This Doomsday Machine will die, but there is a secondary Doomsday Machine in the back. So both teams meeting in the middle of the map. But this autocrat seems a bit uncontested here. It's making its way down the field, and I don't see much there to defend it. This autocrat could really get a lot done. I'm going to try to watch what's happening in other places. There's some gunship wars here in the bottom left. Obviously the battle on the east side of the map is still raging. But the most important thing happening at this current moment is this autocrat. Still 13 kills. It's almost full health. And does the southern team have anything to stop it? I just don't see much. Maybe a D-gun. There is some bombers coming in. But the autocrat is, it is quite tenacious. And Lemminkainen bringing the air defense Battle for the sky, trying to keep the autocrat alive. But could this thing, in the game by itself, it's already taking out so much eco. Now targeting the advanced energy storages, and those are very volatile, as you can see. Those will go up like a matchstick, and they will encourage each other to explode in a large chain reaction. So yeah, now Light Blue's base potentially in trouble. This autocrat is low now, though. It is almost dead. How much else can it get accomplished? It will finally die, but certainly worth its weight in gold there, creating a massive path of destruction down the middle of the map to the south. And finally FR pushing through this the northwest. But there is a Krogoth here. Lemminkainen was ready for this. He's built Doomsday Machines, and he's got a Krogoth. So I don't think this is really the best approach. But oh, more scouts flying through. There are some eviscerators there. Man, what a scrappy game. I mean, both teams holding on for dear life. But Blue has built a link here. The link is a mobile galactic gate. It will allow units to be sent through the gate on this side. Right here. So Blue now sending... He is teleporting his whole army through the galactic gate. It was a cool idea, but I think the link got destroyed before the army could make it through. So, that was a really neat idea. Blue was going to teleport his entire army through the link, try to end the game that way. But right now, this autocrat is getting absolutely swarmed, like Zerg Swarm style. And now FN. I really like FN's composition, though. I do love this. I think the Centurions and the Bulldogs are an incredible mix of damage and health. I mean, these units are so damn hard to kill. And they, with the triple barrels, they put out an endless barrage of shells. And then behind that you have the upgraded penetrators with 2 barrels. That's for the bigger targets. The penetrators, of course, they don't fire very quickly, but each shot is so effective. So this combination of units, it feels like it can deal with almost anything on the ground. Even the autocrats will get absolutely swarmed. Look at all the firepower. We saw how hard that one autocrat was to kill. It got a huge part of FN's base, but with all of this, with this composition here, it is going to shred through almost anything that purple can produce. Unless a Lemminkainen brings a Krogoth, could be a terrible situation for purple. He does not want this army to reach his base. It is a terrifying army indeed. The Centurions, so effective. 15 kills on that one right there. And this just feels like an unstoppable force. Lemminkainen with his own attack, but it's going down the west side. It doesn't seem to really be contributing to this battle happening on the east. And now FR attempting to offer his own support, so this is a joint attack now. Marauders and Mavericks, in addition to the Centurions, Bulldogs, and upgraded Penetrators. Can this fearsome combination and dual attack into the game? Another autocrat does make it onto the field, but will it be enough? The southern team has reached purple's main base. They are in the production now. They are actually in the heart of purple's base, and there's very little here to actually stop them from from simply taking everything out. There are some last lines of defense, and that may hold it for now, but my god, this is just this could be a death blow for poor Rage Gamer. He's losing so much. He's already lost several production labs. He's lost metal extractors. He's lost power. He's lost tons of constructors. And man, yeah, this attack just keeps coming. More and more units streaming in, and now FN with another bombing run play. But there's so much air defense up here that even that will not be enough to ultimately finish off Purple. But most of Purple's fusions are up here at the top right, so they will have to get there. Lemminkainen has brought a Krogoth into the fray, and it should be able to potentially stop this, but don't forget Lemminkainen with his own attack that's been slowly moving down the west side of the map, and now Blue's base in serious trouble. This one Raptor should be able to stop that Krogoth, but this Krogoth is still at half health. And the Raptor now looking a bit worse for wear. 2 Annihilators are alive, but how long will they survive the assault? Oh my god, this Krogoth and Raptor having a man fight. Oh no, dude, is there anything left to stop the Krogoth? This one Krogoth is the only thing left. It's at like a sliver of health. All he's got to do is kill it, but he doesn't have anything. He used everything to stop it. Meanwhile, at the top right of the map, they're still attempting to break into the base there, but not quite able to do it. And oh my god, he's gonna need a D-gun. Where's his commander? We have to assume the FR's commander is somewhere here. Oh my god, there it was. There was the clutch D-gun. That was the only thing left. That was the last ace in his pocket. He had to do that. Holy crap, the games don't get closer than this, guys. 1 recon has made it to the fusion. 2 recons. Are they gonna... Oh, he gets the fusion right before he dies. I mean, pretty much last shot. So both teams brawling. It is such a close, scrappy fight on both sides. But I couldn't even say who's winning now. I mean, I think Light Blue still has the best economy in the game. FN dwarfing everyone's economy. 739, and he's actually using it, metal per second. But the problem is, Lemminkainen has the Krogoths. And so Lemminkainen is actually pumping his resources into... He's investing them into something that I think is a lot more valuable than these bombing raids that FN has continuously tried to do, and some of them have been effective, but at this stage of the game, Krogoth is king. All of these units are fine, like the Recons and Zeus's and Penetrators, but they're not going to be enough to stop 2 Krogoths. Oh, I love all the Annihilators, though. Oh, look at it. Each shot taking about a 20th of the Krogoth's health off. It only takes probably about 20 shots. Oh, I love it. I love it, man. They're sniping the damn things before they can even get in range. Man, that is a beautiful sight. This one Krogoth just taken out by the Annihilators. So those things were incredibly well placed. Blue clearly waiting for that one. But unfortunately it wasn't enough because there was a second Krogoth. But there's more Annihilators in the back. So Blue certainly prepared for this, at least somewhat prepared. But maybe not enough. I've got to try to keep an eye on everything. The Raptor goes down, and once again we have a situation. Hold on. Hold on. The Decimator has made it through. The Flying Saucer of Doom. The Independence Day style UFO with its death laser Oh my god, it takes out the experimental lab. Now going for this Ultra K-Bot assembler. Look at it wreak swaths of destruction through Blue's base, and they finally get it, but not before. It deals serious damage, and there's still a Krogoth! There's still a Krogoth! Light Blue working on an Annihilator. This game is absolute madness. How is it still going? How are we still playing here? The Annihilator gets up, but one Annihilator may not be enough. He's gonna have to do something else. His commander is in trouble. I think he's cloaked him. It's hard to know exactly where his commander is now. He's somewhere here. He's gonna, I'm sure, gonna try to degun that Krogoth. It's the only sensible thing to do in this situation. Is to bring out Daddy D-Gun into the situation. But maybe he won't need it. Maybe with these bombers, that will be enough. Oh, nope. Daddy D-Gun does make an appearance, as Daddy D-Gun is like to do. But my friends, oh my god, FN. He is the, he's the gift that keeps on giving up here in the top right of the map. Look at all the recons. Oh my goodness, this game is just hilarious. It just keeps going. It's like the Energizer Bunny, this game. Absolute madness. And now Light Blue about to hit the fusion reactors, and I'm certain that once one of those goes up, once a couple more go, yeah, there goes all of that. So guys, I could not tell you who is ahead at this point. Both teams so effective at crippling their opponents over and over. This game is just complete scorched earth. It gives the name Total Annihilation. This is the perfect representation of what this series is meant to be. It is a non-stop brawl that is so all-encompassing and destructive on both sides that you can't even really tell who's winning. And I think this is what Chris Taylor had in mind when he made these games. It's like, you know, when he said the core and the arm, you know, they've exhausted all of the resources in the galaxy, and they're both crippled beyond repair. You know, the remnants of their army just fueled basically by a desire for revenge. It's just it's a war that will never end, because it's just they continue to cripple and destroy and one-up each other with their incredibly effective raiding strategies and Krogoth pushes and all other manner of insane late-game plays. I mean, again, who's ahead? Obviously, the Southern team they're better off economically, but I still think that Lemminkainen with these Krogoths could win the game. We've seen it before. There was a game with Lemminkainen and Rock where I didn't think Lemminkainen could win, and he did. So you can never count this guy out. It doesn't really even matter how far behind he is. He seems to find ways to, I mean, holy cow, look at all these antimatter reactors. It's just, it's kind of a sight to behold there. Way too much going on, and remember that Decimator got so much done, so another flying saucer could take out a commander. Guys, remember, this is Total Annihilation. This isn't like other RTSs. You don't have to destroy your opponent's entire base. You always have the trump card. You always have the final solution, if you will. Hold that thought. Speaking of the final solution, the first nuke of the game has been fired. Lemminkainen with a nuke up his sleeve. He's been holding on to this one for quite a bit. And now, breaking the Geneva Convention, resorting to even more. Oh my good God almighty. Oh, Blue's base just got sent back to the Stone Age. It has been removed from our plane of existence. All of his eco is basically gone. He's now relying on light blue because that's where all of his eco was. Yeah, he's FR now asking his teammate to give him fusions because that one well-placed nuke absolutely crippling, absolutely decimating Blue's economy, which wasn't really that great to begin with, but now even less so as this game continues to drag on, the infinite war, the battle with no outcome. Both teams seemingly operating on nothing but on hopes, dreams, and some high quality duct tape. But yet the battle continues to go on. More recons have made it. And oh my god, I don't think that Lemonkainen's ready for this. These recons are more than just an annoyance. They have become an existential threat. Doing what he can to stop this. Harpy's making it up. The recons will die, but they have inflicted some damage. But Blue is just, at this point, he's got almost nothing left. As Lemonkainen and 3 Krogoths could be enough to end the game. Again, you can never count this man out. It almost doesn't matter how far behind he is. But hold that thought because... oh, yet another effective bombing run, taking out multiple T3 labs, and then going for the antimatter reactors to add insult to injury. How is Lemonkainen still alive? Okay, but no matter how this game ends, FN has been the MVP. I don't care, man. FN's play this game has been so effective. The bombing runs, the recon plays. Oh, holy cow. He has just been playing on an entirely another level. Look at all these fusions. They're just being thrown up anywhere and everywhere. Oh my god, FR asking for energy, but FR doesn't realize that FN has got his own problems. He can't be bothered to deal with his noob teammates right now. He's got to defend himself. Like I said earlier in the cast, like the boxer metaphor. He's currently engaged in other affairs of trying to kill these Krogoths that Lemonkainen's sending down. Oh my god, 53 kills on this one. And that one will probably die. So the question is, this Krogoth is just kind of a meat shield for this Krogoth. And the real question is, how much damage can that Krogoth get done? But the Decimator as well. The Flying Saucer of Doom. Can we find some kind of counter to this before it lasers his entire base into oblivion? Oh no, dude, it's taking out everything! Oh no, dude, the Independence Day style flying saucer, and with that, I think Lemonkainen is going to pull off the impossible. He's going to do something I didn't think he could. Even after that beautiful bombing run play that we just witnessed, FN will tap out. He will be sent to the abyss. The infinite war will end. And after that, we just have Blue, whose eco was nuked. Oh my god, Lemonkainen, you absolute legend. What a game. Guys, that was a game. What a game. So many twists and turns, so much action, so many interesting and diverse strategies, so many different units used, so many different ideas. What a game. What a game. It just doesn't really get much better than that. That was total annihilation. That was as good as it gets, man. That was like, if every game I casted could be that good, I think we could all just die happy. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was just, what a freaking game. I mean, up until the very end, I could not have told you who. I did not know that the Lemminkainen was going to win. I really did. I thought he lost after that beautiful bombing run that took out most of his factories. But what a game, guys! This is everything that Escalation can be. Thank you for sharing the replay. I think it was Wotan that shared it. Either way, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next cast.